with me!
Get on those gun turrets!
What?
I'm here.
You there. I don't recognize you. How did you get in here? I don't recognize you. Commander Gran. You author... I don't know them.
What? Sound the...
Io trattavo che Greetings, Master Jedi. I hope you have a pleasant stay here on the Nal. If you have any questions or needs, please direct them to our envoy, Roland One, at our embassy.
Have you managed to retrieve the data from our droid in the Sith base? Excellent. It does not appear to have been tampered with, so the Sith did not manage to copy its contents yet. And now for your information. We are not supposed to speak of this, but since you are a Jedi and we have exhausted all the other options, I think I can entrust you with this. As you know, the Republic is fighting for its very existence against the evil of the Sith Empire. As you also undoubtedly know, we're doing very poorly. We need much in the way of supplies and material to stem the tide of battle and bring us victory. Manaan is the sole source of Kolto, the most powerful medical substance in the galaxy. Frankly, we need as much of it as we can get. The Selkath conservatives, with their neutrality treaties, seek to treat the Sith and the Republic equally. This includes Kolto exports, but a few more far-sighted Selkath see that if the Sith are ever allowed to win, the galaxy will be plunged into darkness, and there would be nothing to stop them from taking Manaan anyway, so we made a deal. We recently began construction of a secret underground facility to harvest Kolto directly at its source. We also hope to one day be able to synthesize it effectively. Current techniques are insufficient for the task, so we must mine it for now. The amount we take would hardly be noticed, since most is lost naturally before it reaches the surface anyway. We were nearing completion of the base when the digging teams reported some sort of obstruction. An ancient building or artifact, possibly your star map. Transmissions from the base were cut off abruptly after that, and we haven't heard from the station since. As you may have noticed, we're hiring a lot of mercenaries around here. Ostensibly, they're to be shipped off-world to aid in our fight against the Sith, but they're really for another purpose. When we lost contact with the station in the Rackard Rift, we sent our contingent of Republic soldiers down to investigate. None returned. We've tried hiring mercenaries and sending them down as well, but none of those expeditions have returned either. The reason we really sent that droid underwater, and the reason we needed its data back so badly, was to find out what happened to the Rackard Rift station. But now that we have the data back, our operation is in no danger of exposure to the Sith. And now I must live up to my end of the bargain. I took the liberty of having a submarine prepared for your departure. Merely use this card to get past the door behind our Kolto packing room and enter the sub therein. It has been programmed to take you down to the station, and also to take you back up should you need something. I would send soldiers to assist you, but we've lost many of ours, and nearly exhausted the mercenary population of this planet. The soldiers we have are barely enough to keep this base secure. The Sith have also noted our interest and begun to bribe mercenaries away from us. Please, find out what happened to the facility. There may be some survivors left down there. Perhaps even the head scientist, Kono Nolan. Good luck in your efforts.
How much for all this stuff, Tyvark?
Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune chunamuri ra. Tangi wama.
Thanks, Tyvark. Catch you next week.
Chiwi aita ka chaskrangi do achua pengti. Yun patisa. Tong hitwa. Chiwi aita chaskrangi do achua peng. Tong hitwa.
Yeah?
How did you get in? Did they send another submersible? Quick, we have to get out of here. We have to get away. No! No, we have no time. We have to leave now. I managed to close the door after they killed everyone else, but I don't know how long it will hold. The Selkath, they went crazy. They started killing anything that moved. Someone must have triggered the defense systems too, because all the droids activated as well. I was one of the mercs the Republic sent down here to find out what happened. We came down and secured the first couple of rooms. There were bodies everywhere. And the Selkath came out, screaming and croaking their fishy little war cries. They're dead. All dead. They swarmed out and over us. There was no way we could stop them, so we ran. But hardly any of us made it. I locked the door behind us, but the others had already left in the submersible. The sharks. The Ferox are out there, and worse. I heard an explosion shortly after the submersible left. They didn't make it. Just food for the sharks and the Selkath. Like us. No! I locked the door so the Selkath won't get in. If you open it, we're all done for. If you go in there, you're dead. You're all dead. If you want to die, then go. You won't hear me mourning for you. I'll stay here and be safe until some sort of real rescue comes.
Don't get your hopes up too high. I have no intention of dying.
I'm here.
Where did you go? How did you get back here without being eaten? You just got lucky. Or it's waiting for me to go back before eating me. When the Republic sends a real team down, they'll save me. They'll kill the monster and then we'll all leave safely. If you're going to go into the rest of the station, don't expect me to help you. The Selkath will rip you all apart.
I'm here.
Yeah, what do you want? We fought against the Republic forces for some time, over the course of many battles. At the start, they were not much of a threat to speak of. But once the Jedi Revan took charge, things began to turn against us. The Republic fleets began to use more than just basic tactics. Feints, counterattacks, mass deceptions. Revan was a genius on the field. Revan abandoned worlds of their defenders so that others would be too fortified to strike, and was willing to make sacrifices in order to advance goals. And in the end, Revan proved too much for us. But it was close. So close. It looked like the entire galaxy was within our grasp. I still remember that final battle in the skies above Malachor 5. The two fleets filling the space around it, outshining the stars. It was not your ships or your men or your vaunted fight for freedom that won this, the final battle of the war. It was by the actions of one person, the Jedi Revan, that you prevailed. His strategies and tactics defeated the best of us. Even Mandalore himself was taken aback by the ferocity of his attacks, the tenacity of his defenses, and the subtleties of his plans. He fought us to a standstill, and then began pushing back. We really didn't have a chance. It was what we had wanted all along, in a way. We wanted to fight the best, in a battle that would be remembered for centuries. And we did. And Revan won. I don't hold a grudge against Revan, and neither do any of my people. It was the greatest moment of my life to be in that battle. If Revan had been a Mandalorian, nothing in the galaxy would have stopped us. But wishing for the past to be different is useless. Better look to the future, as we should now. We'll talk more later, I think. Is there something else you... Your choice.
What?
What?
I'm here.
Is somebody out there? Fishy, fishy, fishy. Come and eat me too. You can't get me, little fishy. Not in here. I'm safe behind my walls. Investigate? You're just like the others. Fodder for the Selkath. Walking fish snacks. Trump, trump, trump. If you can run, you might be fast food. When the Selkath went insane and started killing everybody, I locked myself in here. I'm safe in here. Nothing can hurt me in here. No fishy food for me. No, only the ones left in the south part of the base might still be alive, but where the Kulta is. Few fishies there, but many, many, many fishies in between the water. Don't know. Go ask them. When the demon screamed, it shook every mind in the station. We fell to the ground but survived. Fishy fishies, though, they just got hungry. No, only the ones... Bye-bye. Go look for fishy people. They'll chomp and bite and chomp and bite.
What? What?
I'm here.
What?
What?
Who's there? You're not Cellcast, I can see that much. Are you another rescue crew? I'm a merc the Republic hired a couple days ago to investigate. But all we found was a bunch of insane Selkath killing everything that moves. All my companions are dead. The Selkath swarmed over us. There were dozens of them. And they looked wrong somehow. Like something had changed inside them. Insane or something. Oh, I'd have gone back to the surface long ago if this complex hadn't been overrun by all those crazy Selkaths. There's no way for me to get to the submarine docking bay. I discovered a way to get to the bay and seal off the rest of the base. I just have to find the Kolto harvester they built on the edge of the Hrakert Rift. It's got an emergency override to open the doors to the submarine docking bay. And I could get in from the outside. I figured my only chance was to slap on an environment suit, head out onto the ocean floor, and check that harvester out for myself. Besides, it's gotta be safer out on the ocean floor than back in there with all those crazed Selkath mutants running around looking for dinner. I'm not spending another minute in this facility. Not with those psychotic fish people all over the place. I'm heading out to the ocean floor right now. It leads to another complex of buildings. Going through them is the only way to reach the Kolto harvester. We should probably stick together, but I won't wait around in here with the Selkath. You can catch up with me if you want. Down the hall and through the doors on the right. I'll be waiting on the ocean floor where it's safe.
understand that we have to keep moving. The water is filled with cow! Ah!
No, you can't come in here. You'll let the Firaxa and the Selkath in. No, stay out! Stay out! I won't let you open the door for those monsters to get in. I'll stop you. I'll suck all the pressure out of the chamber. That'll stop you.
Kill them! Kill them now!
60 seconds to complete depressurization. 54 seconds to complete depressurization. 48 seconds to complete depressurization.
What? What do you want? Go away! You'll let the Firaxa and the Selkath in. They'll get us like they got all the others. No. The Firaxa, the Selkath, I can't let you in. They'll get us. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt anyone. I'll unlock the door, but you have to come in quickly. I'm sorry for what I did. I don't know what came over me. I just panicked when I heard someone outside the door. Please forgive me. I'm just so scared.
We're both just scared.
When the Selkath went crazy, I thought everyone else except me and Sammy went mad. We had a few people outside the station when it happened.
The Frax and Sharks just tore them apart. It was like they were frenzied.
The next thing we knew, our Selkath researchers started screaming and clawing at everything around them. My team was torn apart and eaten before my eyes. Sammy and me, I thought we were the only ones left. We heard the Selkath outside the doors every once in a while, and strange noises echoing through the base.
We thought everyone was dead. Dead or insane. I must have been hysterical. I don't know what I can say. I truly apologize for the horrible mistake I was making.
I'm Kono Nolan, and this is Sammy. We were scientists working here on the Harakard Rift project. We had a secret agreement with the moderates in the Selkath government. They knew that Manan could not survive independently if the Sith were victorious.
Those thugs would wipe out the whole damn planet just to get at the Kolto.
So the Republic approached them about making this secret installation to harvest more Kolto, where the Sith couldn't see us. But all that went horribly, horribly wrong.
We don't know. Not for sure.
The work teams were outside in the rift, near the vent. Then there was this rumbling, and my head felt like it was splitting open.
This monster rose up from the rift.
It was a Firaxa shark, I think. Bigger than anything I'd ever seen before. Bigger than our submersibles.
It was like it was screaming inside my head.
Then all the Selkath started screaming too. And they turned on us. It was like they couldn't control themselves. Like the sound that the monster was making in our heads drove them insane.
Well, maybe it was protecting the ruins by the rift.
It could have been. It might have a lair in the Harakut Rift near the Kolto vent. That might explain a few things, too. Like why it reacted so violently when our construction efforts got closer to the vent. And also, why it's so large. It must be feeding off the Kolto. Would have to be ancient indeed for it to reach that size. With Kolto as a food source.
And all those other Phyraxan sharks? Those might be its offspring.
Which would be why they all swarmed when it called out to them. Children coming to protect their mother. The Phyraxan sharks have always been a serious problem. We had some blasters and projectile cannons to defend against them, but they still got some of our workers from time to time.
We were working on a soluble chemical compound that would drive them away. Something that smelled or tasted repulsive to them, but we never got it working right.
Oh, I think not. Even flawed like it is, it should be ideal for this situation.
No, it's not working right. You don't know what it'll do. The repellent we made was supposed to drive Phyraxan sharks away, but we never got very far in its development. The one we tested instead was violently toxic to them, rupturing their outer skin in seconds and preventing them from drawing oxygen from the water by clogging their intakes.
Which is exactly what we need in this situation. Something to kill that monster shark that destroyed our station.
But we don't know how else the chemical reacts. We only tried it in a controlled environment. In the open ocean, who knows what it could do? It could even affect the Kolto.
We know exactly what it'll do. It'll kill the shark. That's what we designed it to do. You can take this canister of toxin. We were working on it just before the giant shark drove all the Selkath insane. All you need to do is insert it into the main Kolto harvester and have it vented. Get away as soon as you can. We don't know how much worse it'll affect the giant Phyraxan shark.
Well, the monster seems to have been driven out by the machinery we installed at the edge of the rift. We've seen it out there on the cameras, bashing itself against the machines. I think if you could destroy the machinery we installed, the shark would calm down and retreat back into its lair inside the rift. You can reprogram the harvesting machines to overpressure their self-oxidizing fuel so that the fuel tank canisters will rupture and the entire machine will destroy itself. The hydrolium gas we use is a gas at 1 to 3 million Sangin, a liquid at about 4 million Sangin, and a solid above that. When it's a liquid, it's very explosive. If you inject enough of the hydrolium gas into the tank, the pressure will be so great that it'll turn to liquid form and start a chain reaction inside the machine.
But we'll lose everything we've built here. All those years of work!
It's better than whatever your chemical will do to the water. Good. Destroying the machinery will be better in the long run. We can't risk damaging the environment or the Kolto. You'll have to break into the computer on the harvesting machine and fiddle with the fuel injectors to get the tank pressure up to the point where the hydrolium will liquidize. Once the machinery is gone, the shark should leave.
That won't work and you know it. We have to vent the toxin from the harvesting machine. Once the shark is dead, we can get back to mining the Kolto. You know what you have to do.
I just hope you make the right choice.
I saw what happened on the camera, and I can't believe what you did. How could you willfully destroy the Kolto harvesting machinery? That'll set us back years. I'll have you know that when we get back to the surface, I'll have the Republic do a full inquiry into your actions. Now go back to the surface and get the Republic to send a real rescue team down for us.
We saw what you did out there on the cameras. Destroying the machinery was the right thing to do for everyone. That creature, the giant Firaxan shark, the guardian of the Kolto or whatever it was, seems to have calmed down a lot. It may even be safe to go outside now, but we'll stay here and wait for the Republic rescue crews. Thank you for not making a huge mistake.
Yeah? Hmm? Huh? Hmm? Huh?
I'm here.
You've returned. I was beginning to fear that you too might have been lost. Did you find out what had happened down there at the facility? Something was down there? Living in the rift by the Kolto? That's horrible. The entire operation wasted by a disaster we could never in 1,000 years have foreseen. What has happened to the facility itself? Were there any survivors? Well, that's good to know. Good to know indeed. But what has happened to the facility? Was it damaged? No, that is terrible. That will set our work back years. It may even cost us the war. While I am glad that you were able to solve our problems, the cost may have ended up being much too high. But you have done your job and helped us in our time of need. And for that I thank you. Oh, and did you end up finding your star map? As you can see, by helping us, you helped yourself. Perhaps we can work together again in the future.
Yeah, what do you want? The war we had with the Republic was supposed to be the most glorious battle in our history. But it was a very costly one. I guess we didn't think of how much we could lose in it. There weren't many of us after that last battle. Mandalore himself was killed at the hands of the Jedi Revan. The best of us could not defeat him. After that last battle, those of us that survived were stripped of our weapons, our armor, and our basilisks. Revan's forces destroyed them while we were forced to watch. Those who hadn't fled earlier were left with nothing to call their own. No weapons, no armor, only the honor of having fought in the battle we just lost. For many, this was not enough. While the rest of us were sent into exile on the Outer Rim, they tried to relive the old days, raiding worlds. They're nothing more than bandits now. Yeah, I came to Taris. And forcing for Davik was not stimulating. The gangs on Taris and Davik's rivals were trash. They give no thrill in battle, no honor or glory in defeating them. It was like stepping on bugs. I sought worthy challenges, but the best that Taris could offer were nothing to me. But I think now, with you, I may finally find opponents worth fighting. Maybe later I'll tell you more about what it was like to work for Davik. For now, though, we should get on with our lives. Is there something else you want to know? Your choice.
Yes. What is it? I have been bothered by something of late. I never told you where I came from, did I? Where I grew up as a child? I suppose I was trying to deny what I was feeling. I have been wrestling with my feelings inside, trying to come to terms with it, but I find I cannot. I must have someone to blame. Someone to blame for the destruction of my homeworld. Someone who is responsible for the death of everyone I have ever known, except those on Dantooine. Taris. It was Taris that the Sith destroyed to try to kill you and your precious Bastila. Taris, my homeworld. If it were not for you and Bastila, the Sith would have never had reason to destroy that world. It was your fault for being there, and your fault for rescuing Bastila. Without your intervention, the Sith would have had no cause to lay waste to my childhood. Just let me vent my anger. I need someone to blame. Something. Anything. I hated that world. Yet everything I learned as a child, I learned there. It is as much a part of me as the air I breathe. I have this ache inside me, where all my childhood memories lay, and I find your face there with them. If it was not for you, that world would still exist. I know. I suppose I realized that. But it is so hard to lose your entire past. You would not understand. Yes. Yes, I suppose it will. As long as we remain focused on our task, it will. I am sorry. I will try not to distract you in the future with my trivial experiences. We should stop for now.
How can I help? I do. I've been trying to come up with the best way to say this for some time, but I suppose I should just come out and say it. The truth is, I have come to depend on you. Not just for the sake of the mission, but for my own sake as well. I'm glad you're with us. Did I? I am trying to be sincere here. It occurred to me that I may have been too critical of you, too demanding at times. I know my manner can be a bit taciturn. I know you must be getting sick of my lectures about the dark side and everything else. I spent all my years being hounded by my instructors, being told so often how gifted and important I was until I was sick of it. I remember when I was younger, I used to swear that I would never become as self-absorbed and stodgy as the Jedi Masters. It's ironic, really. That's kind of you to say, but I know for myself it's not really true. Being controlled has kept everyone around me at an arm's length. Even those like yourself who are most in need of my understanding and compassion. But maybe it's time to change that. You deserve to know how much I respect and admire you. I just thought I should tell you. Well, that was not nearly so difficult as I feared. Thank you for hearing me out. I feel I feel much better, but enough soul searching for now. We should probably continue on with our mission.
Yes, what's on your mind? I already told you, he betrayed us all. Well, there is more to it. I'm sure you don't want to hear about it. It's just that I don't talk about it very much, okay? I told you about my homeworld, Telos. 4 years ago, Saul led the Sith fleet there and demanded its surrender. The planet refused, and Saul proceeded to devastate its entire surface. Millions died. I had a wife and a son on Telos. I thought they would be safe there, but my task force arrived too late to be of much help. We didn't have enough medical supplies. The colony was burning and the dying were everywhere. I remember holding my wife and screaming for the medics, but they didn't come in time. I had nothing left after that, really. I devoted myself to the fleet. Hunting Saul was my only purpose. I miss them. And I know killing Saul won't bring them back. And it won't make me happy again, but I have to do it. I don't expect you to understand, but I have to pay him back for what he's done. I have to. It's all I have left. She had courage, and she was stubborn. A little bit like you in that respect. Never talked her out of anything once she put her mind to it. And she hated it when I signed back onto the fleet at the start of the war. I had planned on leaving soon, to join her. His name was Dustil, and I don't know what happened to him. The colony was a complete ruin, and we never found any trace of him. I made inquiries and followed the reports from Telos for years, but I stopped. Anyway, that's the story, for what it's worth. I've never talked about it before to anyone. Suppose it's time I finally did.
Yeah, what do you want? The war we had... There weren't many after that last Revan's forces. For many, this was... Yeah. Enforcing for... I sought word, but I think not. Maybe later out... Is there something else? Waterworld's never... The thing this world... But the Mandalore, both in our war. You have anything else? Your choice.
Yes. What is... I never told you. I have been someone to blame. Taris. If it were not for you, without your just let me vent. I hated that. I have this ache. I know, but it is so hard. Yes, I am sorry.
How can I help? I do. The truth is... Well, yes. No, I'm not. I see. I know my manner can be... I spent all my... I remember when I was... That's kind of you to say, being controlled, but maybe it's time to change that. You deserve to know how much I... Well, that was but enough soul.
Yes, what's on your... I already told you. Well, there is more to... It's just that... I told you about my home... I had we didn't have enough... Of course not, how could you? I miss them. I don't expect... She had courage, and she hated it. His name was Duck. I made inquiries. Anyway, that's the story. I've,
Calo Nord is dead, Lord Malak. He has failed in his mission. Forgive me.
The penalty for failure is death, Admiral Kareth. But the failure was Calo's, not yours. You may rise.
Shall I hire another bounty hunter, Lord Malak?
No mere bounty hunter can stand against a Jedi. I shall not make the same mistake again. My apprentice, Darth Bandon, shall take care of our young Jedi friend. Find Bastila and bring her to me, alive, if possible.
As you command, Master.
You felt it, yes? Another vision? The Force continues to work through us, showing us the star maps unearthed by Reverend Malak. Kashyyyk is a lush but simple and undeveloped world. I would not have expected to find the alien technology of a star map here. The Wookiees of Kashyyyk make their home high among the Rosha branches. Only their bravest warriors dare to descend into the forbidding depths of the forest. If the star map is located far beneath us on the planet's surface, as our vision seems to suggest, it's unlikely the Wookiees even know of its existence. No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location. How can I help? Am I so transparent? I suppose I shouldn't be surprised, considering our bond. Yes, there is something I would like to ask, if you'll permit it. In our time together, I've been watching you. You are a true servant of the light. You follow the tenets of the Jedi Order despite the lure of the dark side. And with so little training, for me it has always been a constant battle. Don't you find it difficult at all? You make it seem so easy. Or is that only an illusion? And that's enough for you. If only it were as easy for me. If only the right path was always clear. I've always struggled for control over my passions. I've always been too quick to anger, too quick to get involved. My instructors constantly berated me for it. I've often dreamed that I might be able to confront Darth Malak myself. I dream I can use all this power I have to kill him and stop all the death and destruction. I just think about all the evil that the Sith have caused and I get so furious. Yet we are told that these feelings are the path to the dark side. I don't know. Would the power I use to kill Darth Malak be too tempting to keep using? Would I become the kind of evil I want to destroy? The very thought that I could become as evil as Malak, I just can't fathom it. It just doesn't seem possible. I mean, how could I... No. Wait, I'm sorry. I shouldn't even be asking you this. The Jedi teachings are clear. Who am I to question them? And even worse, who am I to try and make you question them? These are dangerous thoughts. The indulgence of a vain mind. Please, forget I ever mentioned this. Let's just return to our mission.
Yes, what's on your mind? To think that I once looked up to these two as the best that humanity had to offer. Now I'd like nothing more than to put a blaster to both their heads. Although I suppose that only Malik is left, isn't he? Turned on his own master. Not that Revan didn't have it coming. Typical for their kind, I guess. No, not personally. But they aided the Republic during the Mandalorian Wars. They were heroes. Without them, the Mandalorians would have finished us for certain. In the fleet, we didn't see much of the Jedi, and I only met Malik once, but I was impressed by him. I guess that just shows how much the dark side can change someone. Nobody does. When they left after the Mandalorian Wars ended, they were Jedi. When they returned, they were something else. No, not personally. But they aided the Republic during the Mandalorian Wars. They were heroes. Without them, the Mandalorians would have finished us for certain. In the fleet, we didn't see much of the Jedi, and I only met Malik once, but I was impressed by him. I guess that just shows how much the dark side can change someone. Well, when they returned from wherever they went, they had an entire fleet with them. Nobody knows where they got the ships. They had a lot of them. And as the years have passed, there always seems to be more and more, while our forces dwindle. Did they really get away with it, though? Revan was betrayed by Malik, and Malik hasn't won. In the end, the dark side won't help him. No, not personally. In the fleet, we didn't... I used to think that it was a fancy name for something that I see every day. Corruption is everywhere. People are greedy and stupid and do horrible things. I'm starting to think it's different for the Jedi, however. That there's this evil watching them, waiting for its chance. You have so much courage and strength in you, yet somehow I have no trouble imagining it differently, like the flip side of a coin. It's not just you, it's Bastila as well. She's so intense. And I don't pretend to know much about the Force, but I know evil. No, of course not. All I'm saying is that when you have so much power, the stakes are higher. I can only imagine the kind of conflict that goes on inside you. Well, neither you nor Bastila are fully trained on how to handle your power. I'm just concerned at what might come. Oh, and that's not what I wouldn't want to see you hurt, either of you. I suppose finding the star maps is more important than your training and your safety. I just hope there isn't a price for you to pay.
Yes. What is it? I was remembering Taris. It was a horrible place to have to live. At least in the lower cities where the non-humans tended to get relegated. Living for years in a place with no sun, living off the trash dropped from the upper levels, and the meager pay doing back-breaking labor. My family and I struggled each and every day to make something of our lives. But we could only go so far. Taxes from the corrupt government, more fees from the gangs controlling the streets, and whatever was left paying for what food and medical supplies we could afford. And of course, there was the constant bigotry and hate from the more affluent and human citizens, lording their wealth over us living below. Every once in a while, a rich human would come down through the lower levels with his droid entourage just to see how the wildlife lived and laughed at the mockeries that were our successes. But I have come to meet many decent humans in my travels since those days. Indeed, some of the greatest people I have ever met are human. The Jedi who encouraged me to join the Order, the one who was with the group going to fight the Mandalorians, she was human. I suppose I see something of her in you when I look. I am sorry. I am getting away from my point, if there even was one. Sometimes I curse the day my parents fled to Taris, but then again, if they had not, I would not be where I am today. Another story for another time. For now, we must continue our own epic, to save the galaxy, if we can.
Yeah, what do you want? It has big trees. The Wookiees, although primitive compared to us, are surprisingly capable warriors. They're strong and pick up combat techniques pretty quickly. I think they're more than a match for the average Republic or Sith trooper. We were wondering if we'd have to use larger weapons than our war droids if we wanted to clear the damn forest so we could fight in the open. Too many trees means they can go into hiding too easy. And what's a continent or two turned to glass if we get the whole world after? Do you have anything else you want to ask? Your choice.
Tuftadan Gelfa, Horisidan Gelfa, Tuni Tufla Fandigo Gelfa, Horisidan Gelfa Vanino, Vennaru Fordi Tufta. Tuoda, Tuni Tufla Fandigo Gelfa, Horisidan Gelfa Vanino Van Gelfa, Undasta Gelfa, Ufta Gelfi. Tuftadan Gelfa, Horisidan. Vennaru Fordi. She aftertu. She endured it out, and Rashi good, and she behind Golupio, when now for the Tufta, Gloria, when now for the Tufta. She endured it out, and Rashi good, she offered to. Undasta Gelfa, Ufta Gelfi. She afforded Gurisa to Undasta Gelfa, Ufta Gelfi.
Yikukuno no ba mulira tikun. Tonghit kun chonching. Ne bobojema jedobadwana ni dibobo. Tong na bungsha nununya. Tong. Ronda di hotonga kun hankabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule. Tongking ba nunotek. Tokning chatukun ne mulerabes. Takum just tak miki grabul mogo. Kachichu ita bodunga. Tolbabank wale oganda naru chuchut. Kachikun ita hodonga. Yiking kuno pa mulera chikun. Tong haidwam jiji jumblumpa. Nita poe tikito. Tolpa da bonkwale o gandona chut. Ronda di hotonga kun hankabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule. Takum just tak miki grabul mogo. Kachichu ita bodunga. Tolbabank wale oganda na. Kachikun ita hodonga. Yiking kuno pa mulera chikun. Slimo podona. Ronda di hotonga kun hankabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule. Mucho shak pakat. Kiye no nama. Kachikun ita hodonga. Yiking kuno pa mulera chiku. Ronda di hodonga kun hankabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule. Tongking ba nunotek. Tokning chatukun ne mulerabes. Kachikun ita hodonga. Yiking kuno pa mulerachi. Achuta.
Maybe we should have brought the Wookiee out. This place looks untamed.
Greetings to you. Something I can get for you?
Kindly direct your inquiries to me. Matton is merely an indebted employee. His opinions don't amount to much. So, new spaces have come to Wild Kashyyyk. Please, look well upon the wares of Eli Gand. I live to serve your needs.
Just be sure to pay cash. The interest on his loans will drain you like a diluvian fatworm on a hut's backside.
First off, hearts are all backside. Secondly, I don't much like the comparison. No need to get personal. It's just business. Poor fellow. He's been waiting for his friends to return with my money for a standard month now. Ah, but you don't need to hear this. What can I get you? Of course. Hello again.
Valued until you can't.
You hurt me, Matton. It's the debt of your crew that keeps you here, not me. I don't concern myself with what goes on past this landing port. The Wookiees are very difficult to deal with. No business sense.
He means they don't tolerate cheats.
No, I mean they don't respect the finer points of a good business plan. Give and take. That's why the Zerka Corporation simply takes. You'd have to take your question to the Zerka Corporation and the Wookiees themselves. I keep to myself. Of course. Enslave? I resent that. Simply fair business. This man's fellows left without settling their debts, so he must make up the difference.
I know, it's standard trading rules. I just want to know where my crew went. I was only gone for 2 days. This isn't like them.
Yes, very sad that they would abandon you, especially while you were doing me a favor and helping repair one of my freighters. You think you know someone, and they turn out to be a cheat. Oh, not like you, Matton. You honor your deals. A word is a bond in trade. It happens from time to time. Credits are scarce out here, and not everyone is as honest as Mr. Daisel here.
You'll get your money. My crew will be back.
Of course they will. Until then, however, I can make use of you as a mechanic. Very rare to find skills of your kind out here. Oh, it isn't about the amount. After all, as a skilled mechanic, Matten is worth much more than what is owed, especially on this remote planet.
Oh, you flatter me, Eli. I guess we're best buddies now.
As I was saying, it's a matter of principle. I'm nothing if not honest in my dealings, and I demand the same. He'll be free to go when his friends turn up and the debt is paid. I honor my deals. Let no one say otherwise.
Thanks, but no thanks. No offense, but there's no point in exchanging debt to Eli with debt to you.
Besides, he is a hard worker. I'd prefer to keep him. Of course. See you soon, I hope.
I think you better talk to...
Welcome to Adia. I trust you will find our facilities pass inspection. Zerka Corporation is very efficient. I'm sorry, I don't understand Wookiee speak. Shiri Wook, I think it's called. What did the Wookiee say? I just work here in the lab. I don't have anything to do with the taking of slaves. I don't have to justify myself to you. I do good work here. If you're looking for trouble, go somewhere else. I'm conducting experiments on various samples of indigenous plant life. There may be untapped pharmaceutical resources here. Of course, that will take some time, and the Wookiees are a more immediate source of income. Please, I must return to my work. I'm sorry, but Director Janos will see to your questions. I must continue my work. Farewell.
There's so much to learn about this planet, but they keep us cooped up in here.
Ustakel Chief Colossus Ivan Rebu. Justetan Kelsa. Noisidan. Justetan. Colossus Ivan Rebu. She offered to. She enjoyed it out. And very good. And she... And their goodness.
Hold here, Spacer. Zerka Corporation doesn't recommend traveling in Wild Adean. Katarn attacks are especially bad right now. Wookiee hunters usually keep numbers down, but I think they leave certain areas infested, just hoping a Zerka guard will get killed. You're the Wookiee lover? Why don't you tell me about them? I'm sure you're real close friends. Keep your pet on a leash, or you'll be wearing him. I've no love for these animals. I've seen guards ripped to Not anymore. Look, you want to know why the Wookiees are acting compliant? You go ask them. When they rip your head off, we'll fish it out of the Shadowlands and give it a proper burial. How about that? I don't talk to Wookiee lovers. Get rid of your Watch yourself out there.
This isn't good. I can't afford this. You think I can? Do you know what they get for a healthy one of those things?
We'll work it out later. We've got company. What do you want? I'm Patrol Captain Deno, and you're interrupting Zerka Corporation business. This Wookiee slave got a little rebellious. We had to put it down.
Careful now. That growl sounded pretty threatening. Keep your slave on its leash or we'll have another accident.
Just shut up, you trigger-happy idiot. Of course they don't. Why would you ask me that? You doing some sort of snap inspection? You're trying to get me to admit to incompetence, aren't you? Not going to happen. I stand by my patrol. This Wookiee got out of hand and had to be put down. We'll find another easy enough. Well, it is a bit costly. Look, why are you asking this? What? You're a Zerka inspector, aren't you? Slimy little... I've heard about these shakedowns. Give it up, man. If we don't pay this leech, we'll get a black mark on our records a sunspot couldn't burn off.
But if you say so, sir. I don't think we have enough. Here.
You are making this difficult. You know, maybe it's too... I think this troublemaker needs an accident. In fact...
Captain, we have blasters. Don't Wookiees use those bowcaster things?
Would you just shut up and shoot?
Now that must have hurt. I'm here.
Lord Malak was most displeased when he learned you had escaped Terrace alive. He is...
Let's go kill something and get the Wookiee out.